Namaste, hello, and welcome to India Global Week 2020, the revival, India, and a better. I'm host Priyanka Deo, reporting live from New Delhi. It is a pleasure to be with you here at India Global Week. Lots of exciting panel discussions, guests, and lots more to come up. With that being said, if you're taking any pictures, if you have questions, if you have any thoughts, please share them with us at India Global Week. Use the hashtag the revival, and we'll check them out for sure. Without further ado, let's go to a very special keynote that we have with Mr. Ashok Malik. Mr. Ashok Malik is the Policy Advisor for the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Mr. Malik is a commentator on foreign policy, strategic affairs, and political issues. He also served as a press secretary to the. I now give the stage to Mr. Ashok Malik. It's a pleasure to have you. Namaste, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. I haven't quite been able to hear you, Priyanka, but because the audio is not clear, but I hope I am clear. Thank you to India Inc. and thank you for inviting me here. I've been asked to speak about the current and ongoing regulatory and economic reforms in India and where to situate them in the larger journey of the Indian economy. So let me begin with some context. When we opened up our economy about 25 years ago or about 20 years ago to greater trade, to FTAs and to globalization really, we had not undertaken several of the enabling factor market and related reforms that will allow us to capitalize on these opportunities, which is why our experience with globalization, with trade agreements was less than optimal. It led to great gains for India, but not all the gains that we could have exploited. The past few years, the past 4 or 5 years, have been spent doing a lot of work on internal plumbing in this regard. And we are in better shape to capitalize on the next wave of global demand and global trade, whatever shape that may take and whenever that happens. And those are big questions in the COVID year, of course. How have we gone about doing this? How have we gone about preparing ourselves for the next surge in global demand? As I said, whenever it comes, it's not apparent right now, but it will come. Several sectors have been opened up to foreign investment, and public sector or government monopolies have been all but abolished. So from aviation to defense, manufacture to mining, more and more, or even space actually, more and more sectors have been opened up to private and international investment. And we're really waiting for it to come when global demand takes off. Financial markets and our banking system have been substantially cleaned up in the past few years. A process of merging many banks, many government-owned banks into fewer but bigger banks and allowing them to operate on scale, as it were, is well underway. We are midway through that process. The new bankruptcy and insolvency laws have also helped. There has been a refusal to evergreen, bad or toxic loans. And these are all steps towards a more transparent and cleaner financial and banking system. Now, this process has not been easy. It's taken time. It's been contested step by step, including by in law courts, in tribunals, and so on. It has led to a lot of stressed promoters or business persons or businesses being forced to pay up or sell out, frankly. And the process of selling out or selling cheap, in their opinion, is never easy. It has also led to international PE firms, pension funds, and sovereign wealth funds picking up some very, very good deals in India, especially in the infrastructure space, in the consumption space, which are the two big and evergreen stories really in India. And they have invested in India's future. Another key pillar of reforms in the past few years has been the digitisation and formalisation of India's economy. It's been a key and ongoing reform initiative. One compelling number is, of course, the number of Jan Dhan accounts, which are accounts for those who were previously unbanked people at the bottom of the pyramid, who did not have the papers to open bank accounts. Today, we have 395 million such Jan Dhan accounts, which are zero balance accounts. You can have a bank account without any money. But guess what? People have brought in money from literally under the mattress. And this has brought 1.32 trillion rupees, or that's about $18 billion, into the formal economy from literally under people's pillows. And that has been a big jump. There's also been a push towards manufacturing and to linking India to global value chains. But I'd like to point out here that we are not looking at value chains the way we did when 20 or 30 years ago when China opened up. The international trade order is restructuring. There is the space for globalization, unfettered globalization is not where it was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. We need to recognize that. Therefore, incentives for manufacture or building an ecosystem for manufacture can't be a one-size-fits-all approach. It has to be targeted, it has to be smart, it has to offer different deals to different sectors. So most recently, we've offered a set of incentives to smartphone manufacturers in India, which hopefully will work. And there's already interest from the two biggest smartphone manufacturers in the world. In addition, there's been defense. If you look at defense manufacture from virtually zero, foreign companies or international companies can now own 74% of units in India. Now, this process has begun. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. It's going to take several years to build this ecosystem and to have technology spin-offs and percolation into other aspects of other parts of the economy, as has happened elsewhere. Mining, another area which has opened up most recently, but at a time when the prices that resources are fetching are not exactly sky high. This will take time. But the conditions are in place for foreign investment as and when demand picks up. And finally, there's the liberalization of farm markets in India, as well as of freeing up India's MSMEs, which are really the backbone of manufacture in any mature economy. India's MSMEs have been starved of capital, they've been starved of growth opportunities because we've defined the MSMEs in very, very small terms. So there's no incentive to grow at all. In the past few weeks, we've taken steps in both these areas with the hope that MSMEs will now grow and be able to actually link to global chains, value chains as suppliers and become part of global manufacturing and supply systems. That's where we are. It's been a tough past few months with COVID. We are looking at our toughest year as an economy since 1980, as are many other countries in the world. There have been two generations of Indians since 1980 who've grown up without seeing a recession, without seeing a contraction in growth. This year, if we're lucky, we'll escape it, but frankly, we're headed towards one, I guess. So it's that radical a year for us as it is for others in the global economy. But as and when the revival comes, and it will come faster than a lot of us expect or think, I think it's going to come in the next year or we'll come back with gusto. The Indian consumption story and the Indian infrastructure story will take us forward. So thank you, and I haven't quite been able to hear your questions, but I hope I've answered all of them. Thank you.
Sorry, how long do we have time for questions?
Ashok, can we ask you one?
Sure, go ahead.
Jigar, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so I just want to, Ashok ji, you've been a leading policy thinker in how commercial business should and now drive India's foreign policy.
I can't hear you very well.
Sorry, there's a technical echo.
Why don't I leave you to have a conversation with yourselves, and if you have any questions, just mail me. The organizers will give you my email address. I'll be happy to answer questions and chat offline. So have a great discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you, Priyanka.